5 years ago, I started watching countless trading related topics on YouTube. One thing I noticed was that everyone was talking about what you should do if you want to become a profitable trader. But the one thing nobody is talking about are the things that you should not do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that there are a lot of things that you should avoid if you want to become a profitable trader. In this video, we'll be talking about 5 of these things. The first thing on the list that you must avoid if you want to become a profitable trader is overtrading. Overtrading is simply when you trade too much. This is a recipe for disaster as a trader. Look, one thing you must understand as a trader is that we are snipers, not machine guns. In my early stages, I remember there was one time I closed the month in profits. That was the month of December. I was too happy, so I decided to review my whole trading journal. It was to my greatest surprise that 80% of the trades that I lost were unnecessary losses. Some of these losses caused by impatience. I wouldn't see any setup, but I would just want to trade just because I'm feeling lazy. This is a big issue that many traders face. One thing that helped me become better is understanding that less is more. The less trades you take, the more you make money. Most people are stagnant in their trading career because they are taking a lot of unnecessary trades. If you can focus on only quality trades, you're going to make a lot more money. In a month, I take like 10 to 20 trades and I make more money than many people who take over 100 trades in a month. It's not about how many trades you take, but it's about how much you stay disciplined and stick to your trading plan. The second thing I had to stop doing before I became a profitable trader was strategy hopping. Strategy hopping is when you hop from one strategy to another. This is when you completely abandon a trading strategy that you've been using just because you faced a series of losses. There was one of my friends that passed through the same issue. He's naturally an anxious person, so whenever he faced losses, he will immediately see himself as a failure and he will think that changing strategies is the solution to his problems. He jumped from price action strategies to indicators to SMC to ICT to every single thing that was out there. I'm here to tell you that it only made him more anxious and more confused. If you want to make money as fast as possible from the forex market, then go and meet someone that you're sure makes money from the market and learn directly from that person. Backtest and forward test their strategy so that you can be sure that the strategy is working. Confirm that you're working with a profitable strategy, then stick with that strategy through thick and thin. Try to refine the strategy and trading plan to a way that suits you. When you're done with that, you will see that you slowly start making a consistent income from the market. If you have any more questions on this, you can always access me through my Telegram DM link that's in the description. Now, the third thing I did before I became a profitable trader was blocking trading influencers. Majority of these trading influencers on IG, TikTok, X, and even this YouTube are mostly clowns. Now, there are real ones out there, don't get me wrong, but it's hard, very hard for a beginner trader to spot a real one. So there was a time when I was starting. This was when I just learned my strategy and I was, coming up. I remember I fell a victim to all these trading influencers. That was a long time when I just started trading, right? I remember I just learned my strategy and I was very happy because I started trading the strategy correctly. Now I was trading a pair GBP JPY and I was about to take a buy trade, right? But then something told me to just go on YouTube and go on the YouTube live. I went on that YouTube live and there was this trading influencer that was selling GBP JPY. At the time, this guy was the best in my eyes, but now looking back at what he was doing back then, it was very mediocre and not good at all, right? But then he was my all and all. So if this guy that I worship is selling GG, who am I to be buying GG? You understand? So I decided to change my bias and follow him for his sales. But that wasn't the bad thing that he did. The bad thing that he did was when he told us to risk everything. Why? Because he said it's a very sure setup. Back then, I was thinking that that's the main reason. But now, when I look back at it, I remember that he told us back then that we should use a particular broker. And when we use that particular broker, if we lose, this is what is the part that we don't know. If we lose, we are going to actually make him more money for his affiliate deal with the broker, because he had an affiliate deal with the broker. So whenever we lose money, he makes money, right? So him telling us that we should risk everything was because he wanted to make more money for himself. And I risk almost my whole account back then. And what happened? We lost every single thing. It was a very terrible event back then. That's just one of my examples of how I fell a victim to these trading clowns. Now, if you notice, you'll see that people hardly post their losses on social media. You see people posting only their winning trades, and this has a very tremendous effect on the psychology of a struggling trader. It can make you start doubting yourself, and that doubt alone can cause you to lose money. Some of these trading influencers are not really traders, but they are affiliate marketers. So there's a chance that they'll give you a trading advice that will alter your trading journey. So just try to filter who you follow online. Do not be attracted to people that posts only flashy objects online, because 9 out of 10 times those people want to sell you something. Try to focus mainly on value. Focus on people that give you valuable information. Use your head. If you look clearly enough, you will see the difference between the real and the fake. The first thing I stopped before I became profitable was executing without studying or backtesting. A lot of people make this mistake. As a matter of fact, I also made this mistake. Back then, I'll just learn a strategy on YouTube, and immediately I'll start trying to implement that strategy on the charts. Such a beginner mistake. I remember when I first learned how to trade. You know that the first strategy that I learned was from a book that I read. I read the book, I learned some price action patterns, and immediately I went to my broker and funded all the savings that I had then. Of course, you know how the story ends. Now, let me tell you the correct thing to do. When I finish teaching one of my students my strategy, I'll give them an assignment to backtest that strategy. So there are different platforms used for backtesting, but backtesting is just simply training the strategy with past data. Same way footballers and basketballers go for training all the time, that's the same way traders do their backtesting. So when you backtest, you see the strategy work in real time. You'll be able to trade the strategy correctly without making errors. You'll be able to have all the details of your strategy, and you'll be more skilled at your crafts. Quite frankly, most of you are trash traders because you don't know what your strategy can do or can't do. Make sure that you make backtesting and forward testing your top priority. The fifth and final thing I had to stop doing before I became profitable was trying to get rich off one trade. Ladies and gentlemen, never try to get rich off just one trade. You're a businessman. You're a trader. You're not a gambler. You need to work with strict risk management rules that will put you in a position to make a lot of money with your capital. But that risk management strategy also needs to protect you from losing your account. If you think you want to get rich off one trade, then what that means is that you can get poor off one trade. Because the only way you can do that is when you put yourself at the risk of losing your entire portfolio. That means that you're simply a gambler, not a trader. You don't get rich off one trade, but you get rich off series of trades. So focusing on a series of trades is better than focusing on just one trade. Now imagine you're focusing on just one trade. If you're focusing on just one trade, your whole hope is going to be on that one trade. And in a trade, anything can happen because this is the forex market and the market is very dynamic. So these are the 5 things that I stopped doing to become a profitable trader. I've told you what you need to turn things around. I run a mentorship program, and my sole aim with that program is to make you a profitable trader in the shortest period of time. If you want to make inquiries on how the program works, the link to my Telegram DM is in the description. Send me a message to get started. I'd see you on the winning side.